Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. Today, some of you guys have been asking for a new supercar by Athena, a new hypercar even. And, well, I've built one. It is called the Scylla. And it looks like this. Admittedly, this body is usually found on race cars, but you know it's a game. You can use this car body to create a street car as well. It's not like the shape of the car determines whether or not it goes onto the road or onto the racetrack. Not the shape alone, but we do have headlights, like some LEDs here. We have indicators. We have doors, sort of. We have taillights with, indicators are going to be in there. We have number plates. So basically all the hardware is present on this car. So let's get into the details. It is this body, by the way. We have a carbon fiber monocoque, shouldn't be surprising. Push rod suspension all around, and carbon fiber panels as well. And again, no surprises, it's meant to perform. Well, not 100%. It's not a pure performance car though. It stays true with the spirit of the Centaur, our first hypercar, in that it has a rather comfortable interior, a handmade interior, luxury equipment, and a not so aggressive suspension setup, so that you can actually drive it and enjoy it on the road rather than just have a really terrible ride and make you wish you could kill yourself on a bumpy road. But obviously what really makes this thing what it is the engine. And it is powering only the rear wheels because I couldn't fit the kind of engine that I wanted with all-wheel drive. Obviously, all-wheel drive would have made it a lot easier to drive. But hey, we're trying to compete with the Veyron with this one. So it has a 6.5 liter twin turbo V12. And before you start screaming that's ridiculous, the Veyron has a 16-cylinder 4-turbo engine, so, and also with 8 liters of capacity. So it's bigger, more cylinders, twice as many turbos. You can't really call this engine ridiculous, then can you? We have all the most expensive parts with a plus 15 quality on the bottom end, because if I go for any less, we will have bottom end issues. And we don't want that on a car like this. Cam profile is set to 80. Could go higher, of course. But I think this way the power curve seems fine. We have a water-to-air intercooler with a ball bearing, like pretty large. Everything, compressor, turbine, 1.3 bars of boost. Again, could still be higher, but keep in mind that the boost is already, the turbos are already spooling up at 1300 RPMs. So if we go with more boost, a bigger compressor, a bigger turbine, then it's gonna kick in even later. Direct injection, throttle per cylinder performance intake. Didn't want to go for a race because race is kind of for race cars. 8,000 RPM rev limit is really high for a 6.5 liter V12. And we have straight flow mufflers on this one, not reverse flow, because you want to hear some of the engine at least on an expensive hypercar like this. I think 933 foot-pounds of torque, 1180 horsepower. That torque is like, that's gonna be about 1280, somewhere between 1280 and 1300 newton meters. That's a lot of torque. And I think it's even more than the regular Veyron makes, the 16.4. Not more than a Super Sport, I don't think, but could be more than a regular one. I'm not sure, I don't have the numbers in my head. I know that it makes 1001 horsepower though, so we definitely beat it in that regard. This has a 6-speed single clutch sequential gearbox and an electric diff. 3 25mm rear tires, couldn't go any wider. That's as far as you can morph the wheel arches here and there. They don't go any wider. 21-inch magnesium rims. That's 21-inch rims is really big, and I think they're really gonna help us with like driving dynamics overall. Carbon ceramic brakes all around, but 4 pistons front and 6 pistons rear, because that's a better balance. It makes for better drivability than doing it the other way around. However, the fronts are still bigger than the rear ones, because that's well, apparently this car likes this kind of weird brake setup, but it works. Fully clad on the tray, I didn't really mess with the wing angles very much because I wanted a high top speed. So we have a lip up front that's kind of a little bit hard to see because of the way that this body is shaped to begin with, and we have a wing on the rear, and the wing is an active wing, so it, you know, when you go flat out, it's as flat as possible, and when you brake or when you turn it, it inclines, so that it gives you more downforce and better at braking, better at handling, and yeah, that way we can achieve the high top speed while also gaining the benefit from having a wing for braking and handling. Handmade interior with 2 seats, could have also gone for 1, but didn't really want to. Luxury infotainment, all driving assists. No launch control available, even though in 2010 there were already cars that had launch control. I'm pretty sure about that. Safety is advanced as well. We have active comfort springs, not active sport. Could go with these as well, but let's see. Yeah, comfort would go down to 52.5, but we would gain drivability and sportiness. Maybe that's actually better overall. I don't know. In any case, I'm probably gonna stick with the active comfort though, because this is meant to be a road car that is gonna compete with, you know, cars like the Veyron, and the Veyron is famous for being not only like insanely fast, but also a decent daily driver that you can just comfortably cruise around in, and I want this to be one such car as well. It's gonna struggle a little bit, of course, because it does not have all-wheel drive like the Veyron, but if you take this to a long straight, just watch the speed of it in this one. That's 300 kilometers an hour from a standstill in less than 13 seconds. That is so much quicker than a Veyron. That's even quite a lot quicker than the Veyron Super Sport. And well, so it does perform extremely well in a straight line, this thing, even though it can't quite get to the same top speed as the Veyron. But of course this will probably also beat the Veyron on a track, even though it's not particularly tuned for best lap times. So a 133.59 second lap time around Laguna Seca is pretty good, of course. Probably not quite what you'd expect from such a powerful mid-engined car that looks like a race car like this one, but overall it is still a road car and it is meant to be comfortable. Let's actually see how much quicker it would be around the track with the active comfort springs. If that makes a big enough difference, then I might choose these over the other ones. It's exactly the same. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the active comfort ones then. I'm probably gonna still retune this suspension a little bit to make this car more drivable. That did not do the trick. No. More rear sway bar. Does seem like a good choice. Lowering it a little bit. Also did work out up to a point. We already gained 0.5 drivability just by tweaking this a little bit, but oh yeah, this helped a lot too. Yeah, so this has neutral camber up front, which is something you'd never see on a super or hypercar, or let alone a race car, but this does because, well, it's meant to do well on the road, and therefore I think this is the better idea, because this will make it easier to drive on the road. We could get a little bit more power out of the twin turbo V12. What if I put this up to 85? Excuse me. And maybe increase this by one more point. No, that doesn't work like that. Oh, that gave me a lot of power. 1199, I want 1200 if possible. 1199. 1198. 7. One more here. No? $12.01. $11.99. Come on, we can do this. Well, what if it's 1201? Then that's exactly 200 horsepower more than the Veyron. Sure. Need to increase this. Now we're at 406.6 kilometers an hour. which is basically the same as 407 kilometers an hour that the Veyron did. You can round 406.6 up to 407, and therefore this is the Scylla 407. Let's test it once again on this straightaway. And there's 400 kilometers an hour. In 39.8 seconds, I think the Veyron did 0 to 400 in like 55 seconds. So this is a whole 15 seconds quicker there. Mind you, that number is pretty much irrelevant in practice, because like how many times do you really get the opportunity to test a car from 0 to 400 kilometers an hour? Excuse me. So what happens if I go with 22 inch rims? That's one more question I had in mind. We did reduce wheel spin error so barely, and also the stopping distance, but more importantly, top speed is better. Laguna Seca, let's see, 133.59 to beat, which is the time it did beforehand. On 33.72, so it's actually slower now. Oh, the changes to the engine made it slower, not the increased rim size. Okay, so I think this is gonna be it. The Scylla. Let me know what you think about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.